and the Gestapo ran away already.
When you say the Gestapo, you mean the SS?
SS, yeah. The SS, the Gestapo.
Okay.
And then SS, Gestapo. No.
SS.
SS, yeah.
SS.
Sure. And they ran away and they put all old soldiers, they gave them guns, stay and watch the Jews. And I remember one was shouting, "Don't run away, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you." You know, he's going to shoot us. And then he ran away himself, and they left us sitting there. So we said, "What are we going to sit here? Let's run." So some people ran here, we separated. And one of the groups was from our town, a girl. And she said, "Joyce, come on, let's be together." And I just had the feeling, I said, I don't know. The group was too big, a too big group to survive, you know. So by myself, I went to the woods. By myself, I went to the woods, and I heard the woods noise. So I was scared. Are there soldiers, German soldiers still there? Are there enemies after me? And then I would come farther and farther, and then I heard speaking Polish. And there was a group of Polish workers who worked for a German farmer. And they took me in there, and 2 days later, the Russian came in and liberated us. It was unbelievable, just unbelievable. You have to read the story. You have to read the book. I couldn't do it today. Yeah. I'm too old for this already. Yeah.
So tell me something.
Yes, please.
We have a beautiful book here that you wrote, and today with the education, you wrote this to bear witness. And in your book, the title is "To Bear Witness."
Yeah.
With respect to what you want to accomplish, tell me, with this book.
We were sitting, one day we did not go to work. We were all sitting outside, a few girls at barrack in Birkenau. And it was such a beautiful day, and not far away we could see the Carpathian. I could see it. I see the faces. I see us sitting around there. And then we were thinking, beautiful war, what's going to happen to us? They're going to kill us. We won't survive. Nobody's going to come out alive from here. And we said to each other, please God, let one survive and to tell the world what's happened in this hell called Auschwitz-Birkenau. That's the promise I kept to those girls. Please God, let one survive. I survived. And I kept my promise. Promise kept. That's the title of my book. That's in thanks to my daughter, who, wanted me to speak to the students after speaking to the group who were doing the performance about Anne Frank. Every year I came to visit Chicago, and every year I started. There's a picture in there, the small group of a class, just one class, you know what I mean? And then 2 classes, 3 classes. And by the end, I speak to 1,000 students in the auditorium. And they a few years back, they made a video. In case if I won't be around, the video is going to speak for me. And the love and the attention, they hugged me. They had a piece of paper. They turned us up, and I had to write my name so everybody would have my name. And I want to show you the picture where how I started. That's the picture of Vice Yankov, and that's the boys' school, and that's the Hashomer Hatzair group. And that's the new temple, what the Jewish community, the children of the rabbi
built
a beautiful take in the back.
I'm amazed. How did you get these pictures? Where did you find these pictures? The pictures of the temple, the school,
There were a few survivors from our town, and somehow they had it, and I have them from them. And all those pictures. This is a brother had a sister here, you know.
Yeah.
Here's my brother Shimek. Here's my brother. Somebody. No, this picture I had. This is the one who came in 1938 to United States, and they brought the pictures with them, and that's how I got this picture, and this picture that was sent from Israel. Some of them went to Israel. Hashem Radziejow, Zionist group. That's my husband and me. And here I start speaking to it's a class of students. And then I spoke to B'nai Brit groups every Yom HaShoah.
What you're doing is so important for not only...
I survived, and the world have to know from where I came, and what's happened during World War II. People have to know, and now I cry, but I'm telling my story. People have to know.
I want to ask you a question, which is important for the people who will see this video in the future. Today is the first day that you and I met, correct?
Yeah.
And my name is Manny Viter. I was born May 1952, and I was born in Israel, and I live in New York. You and I met today at the Holocaust Museum, where I met your daughter, Gilda, and I met Gilda's cousin? Brother-in-law. Okay. Who's?
Rodney Ross.
Rodney Ross. Let me just zoom in on you right there. This is for purposes that we have.
He works in Washington. For the
National Archives.
National Archives.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you is, during our little interview that we had today about your history with the Shoah, at any time did I tell you what to say, or are you saying your own words? Have you spoken today in your own words?
I didn't tell you nothing. It's so much more to say.
Oh, yes, that I understand. But did I ask you to say something that was not correct?
No way.
Everything.
No way. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that.
Okay, so all these are your history.
That's
what you witnessed.
That's the truth.
The truth and what you witnessed, what you experienced, and I didn't influence you in any way to say something.
No way.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Okay. Because that's my story. It's not your story. It's my story. And that's the way it should be,
That's very important. I want to thank you on behalf of the American Jewish War Veterans. I want to thank you on behalf of the Jewish people, and I want to thank you on behalf of all humanity and people who are interested in the story and learning what really happened during the Holocaust and what survivors like yourself had to go through.
And we still, I'm 90 years old, and I will still speak to 4 high schools now in May. One is Glenbard West, Glenbard North, Glenbard South, and Glenbard East, and it is in Glen Ellen in Illinois. And as long as I can still speak, I will continue to educate the people. That's one thing. Never again should something like that to happen to anybody in the world. Anybody.
And I hope God gives you the strength for the next 120 years to talk and to educate the young children. They have to know your story and the story of the Jewish people.
They have to know.
And those that don't have the voice. And you are the voice. You are the voice for all the people who didn't survive.
That's right. For propaganda, some people say it's never happened. But even in my book, I have a few words.
And this is the last page over here. Would you like to read that? I would like you to read it if you...
Those words were written by General Dwight D. Eisenhower, who helped liberate Ordrup, one of Buchenwald's camps in Germany. He later became the 34th President of the United States of America. And that's what he wrote. The things I saw, began description, the visual evidence and the verbal testimony of starvation, cruelty, and bestiality were so overpowering as to leave me a bit sick. I made the visit deliberately in order to be in a position to give first-hand evidence of those things, if ever in the future there develops a tendency to charge those allegations merely to propaganda. General Dwight Eisenhower, April 12, 1945.
That is a very famous quote from the general.
From the general,
right.
yeah.
In addition to that, he made his he made his officers in the different division and units that were liberating camps in the different area, bring the German civilians into the camps and view exactly what the German people did.
Yeah, I know about it. I know about
that is a fact of history. And tomorrow, I don't know if you know that, but Dwight Eisenhower's daughter is going to be here.
She's going to be there.
Right. And I'm going to try to see that you get to meet her.
I wish. I would love to.
I will do everything I can
I would have the
to arrange that.
show that's in my book. It's the same.
That his quote is there.
Quote of this
that his
one.
quote is there.
Yeah.
And I would like to be there to photograph that moment.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That would be lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for everything that you did. Okay. And what you did is just more than words can express. And you did it for the future of all children, Jewish and non-children alike, and also for the Jewish people. They should know that what you went through should never happen again.
Never again. Never again. People have to know that a thing like that should not be allowed. Where was the world? Where was everybody to allow so many people? The way they were killed, the way, just think of a crematorium, of a gas chamber. I will never forget. I was sitting outside in a group of, they had to walk to the crematorium past our barrack. We were divided by electric wires. In a beautiful group of people, mothers, fathers, grandpas, the children worked together. The rest I will never forget so beautifully. They must have come from a bigger town, friends, something, bigger. And they were talking like never nothing happened. They walked straight to crematorium, straight to the gas chamber. And nobody came out alive. And we were sitting witnessing. We knew what's happened to those people. We knew. How could anybody do things like that? How could anybody allow something to happen? Just where was the war? I still question where were the people who could really help us, and there was no help. There's no help. Even we know when I was in Auschwitz, we were hoping that they might, I don't have the words right now, I'm so...
Liberate?
Not liberate, about Hitler. They will kill Hitler.
Assassinate him.
And we were hoping that a day would come that he be assassinated and we be liberated, And then we find out, in Auschwitz, we knew everything what's going on, from mouth to mouth. We didn't have the radios now, but from mouth to mouth. Some people, the hired, like the resistance group, they had the radios, they knew what was going on in the world, and they passed it on to the others to give us hope that the Russians are close, the Americans are close, that finally somebody is fighting for us to liberate us, you know what I mean? And then we hear that there was assassination on Hitler's life, but he wasn't killed, you know what I mean? He wasn't killed. And it was